speakers were, how much they appreciated being on a billboard in Times Square. There are people who are on here right now looking that I have moved from friend to acquaintance. I had done that before, but I have done this now permanently. Do not try to butter me up. When I am there for you, I tell you all, I am your friend and I am your friend. Tough people who know me, that I helped and put them on a right path, didn't even say, rah, let me go out there and see what is this Your Trauma Talks on Broadway about. No, but they promoted other people during my things. People I have stand for. But that is what I said. These people enjoyed it and they had an amazing time. They walked out on stage. They tell their stories about bullying. So before we go into a little more on bullying tonight, let me bring Brittany Purr up. Let her share her experience with everyone. But before she comes up, I want to do this for her. And she doesn't know I'm about to do this. But to every one of you who is viewing, I am not venting because it gets really deep.
Hi, I'm Brittany Purr, and you might recognize me from Your Trauma Talks live stream. I'm also from obscurum.com, obscuram.com. This event, amazing. I did it last year. Ra is such an incredible soul. I am so thankful and grateful to be partnered with him in helping to make this experience happen and just for being a part of it. It has been healing, to be honest. So thoroughly healing to be able to share my story of what I've overcome in my life, and empowering. And I think that is the heart and soul of Your Trauma Talks, is the fact that it releases the stigmas that we have around mental health, which some people are like, oh yeah, mental health is a disease. We all deal with it. We all deal with trauma. We all deal with stress, anxiety. You can name whatever sort of thing everybody deals with. Mental health matters. Self-care matters. It is important to take care of your mental health because that is the lens that we view the world, and that is how we are able to overcome things together as a community, as we used to around campfires. We used to share stories about this stuff in ancient times, but somehow that's been thrown to the wayside and considered something that's not supposed to be talked about. And we get to change that here, and that's why I am so thankful and grateful for Your Trauma Talks and what Ra is creating in the world, because it is exponential healing so that we can let go of hurting each other and become more of a connected global community as we heal together. So thank you to Your Trauma Talks and to Ra for making this happen.
Your Trauma Talks Thursdays, episode 31. I give to you Brittany Purr.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ra. I had literally no idea that you were going to share that, but it's such a powerful message. And that experience, let me just say to those who are watching right now, it keeps getting better and better. Like, if there is someone to keep an eye on, it is Ra. It is what he's causing and creating in the world. It is this space. And I am thankful for everybody who is part of the community making this happen. And I'm going to repeat that again. I am thankful for everyone who is part of this community, for making it happen. Without you, this isn't possible. As Ra was saying, like, there are people that didn't show up, but you have, and you've been here. Most of you have been here since the beginning of this, and you've tuned in every week. Like Sherry, hello, love. And Geneva and so many other people. Like, it is mind-blowing, but you have to understand how powerful and how integral or interconnected you are as a part of this with us. Like, even just witnessing this event unfold. Witnessing ourselves on a billboard in freaking Times Square is incredible. And you all get to applaud yourselves for showing up, not just for us, but for you and for others in the world. And as we share on this and gain more momentum, the changes that are going to happen, that are going to help so many people, is going to be incredible. Because, I mean, I'm going to share a weird story, but I'm on public transit right now. On my way out to go pick up my daughter, there's a woman there having some sort of an episode, naked from the bra down. And then on our way, once I picked up my daughter on our way back, the same stop, another lady just flaunting it out from the top up. And I'm like, yeah, people are not getting supported in the world. They are not getting their needs met. And this is like, we're at a time, at a day and age when we have so much. We have so much knowledge. We have so much data, and yet it's not being used in the right way. And I think the stigmas are done. It is time to really share these stories, to really open up on these things so that we're not sitting there like trying to hide it or trying to play it off or not getting the support that we need. Right. And Ra, I wholeheartedly believe that you are creating a better world. And it's been an uphill battle. Like, Ra gave you a little snippet, just a little snippet of what he's experienced. It's, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So.
Well, Britt, I mean, tonight we're going to do a little bit of a difference. We're going to speak about bullying. I'm going to tell a little bit in depth about a couple things that happened to me. And we are going to play highlights. So those of you who did not attend, and you know how sweet it was, Jenny will tell you all who was not there. Mm-hmm. Jenny will tell you all, LaFari and his friends, and they all who attended. We have Freddie Flores is looking in. Dr. Cecilia Hawkins is looking in. She's right here tonight. Thank you so much, Dr. Cecilia Hawkins and Wings of Dorcas. Like, we couldn't have completed everything without you. And you played a great part. Francis from NAMI, oh my God. And the thing about it was, you all would have interacted and met all these amazing people. See, check out all our little reels that Brittany Purr, Anya is posting, Tiffany West, Nancy, Yannick, everyone. If you follow them, they're posting up so many nice photos, so many videos of their experience. So tonight we will just do the clips of the reels of some of the things that some people said, and everyone spoke a little bit, like 1 or 2 minutes. So to do this right now, before we jump back into bullying, because this person told a little bit of her story as well, and she'd been through it, because on stage she spoke, and the things, I mean, personally, she's my friend, and things she told me from the past that happened to her, oh my God. And people always think that it is okay to drag around things. No. And she has shown me the resilience of who she is. So let's do this little interview with LaFari and Dr. Cecilia Hawkins.
Dr. Cecilia A. Hawkins, Wings of Dorcas, and I'm the CEO and founder of that company.
Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Hawkins, and one of the sponsors. All right. And it's great to hear all of the wonderful things that Wings does. Now, my first question is, out of all of the amazing things, what is the one thing that you were super excited to share about, either about yourself or about the organization with the audience? What was the one thing, like, I can't wait to let them know that we have this, or I can't wait to let them know about something of myself?
Well, the most exciting thing for me today is to be able to be on this platform and to share about the organization and the great work that we will be doing collectively together as a whole, both here in America and internationally.
Thank you. And my second question is, what was your biggest takeaway? Was there a quote or, a story that affected you today that you were kind of surprised?
All the speakers were awesome. All they had to share was very interesting and very home based for me. But the one thing I thought about when Brittany was talking about fear, we often look at fear as being a paralyzing tool that's working within us. And I now see it differently as looking at it as a tool, as something that I can use to help motivate me more into looking future. So I wrote some of the acronyms down to fear and what she explained it. So it gave me an opportunity to look at it differently and not as just a paralyzing tool.
And one of my favorite quotes, I actually learned this in AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. Speaking of fear, it's my favorite quote actually from that program. Fear, false evidence appearing real.
Absolutely. And that's the one that we all most know. And that's what I would always say to my clients. And sometimes, again, being a social worker with the city of New York, it was fear that always got the parents and other companies in trouble because, again, it appeared to be, it was just an illusion. It wasn't something that was real. But if fear itself paralyzes you, then therefore you don't know how to reach out for help because you take that and internalize it, and it becomes like a heavy weight and causes you not to be able to move. So it was just really good today to be here and to hear all these stories. And you're so right. It's just a false illusion.
Dr. Hawkins, thank you so much. It's an honor. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you again, Dr. Cecilia Hawkins and Wings of Dorcas. And Lavari, you're not online here with us, but thank you so much for, every single speaker, as I call them, my amazing angels, every single one. Brittany Perez right here, and I'm not lying. They had something amazing to say. Oh my God, he's so soft. Oh my God, he understood what I was saying. Oh my God, he's so full of joy. Lavari, these are the things everyone said about you. Thank you so much. I couldn't have asked for a better host. You blended in. We love your story about the pajamas and going to school and being bullied. And you did it. I love the outfit. You know, due to the theater and changing of the theaters, we ended up not having a fashion show because I love what happened last year with a fashion show. You know why? It broke the ice. That is why between myself and Lavaru, we performed, we sang. So it breaks the ice off the traumas because you do not know how tough it could be on someone. Yes, we wanted to be raw. Like I posted the post about the teenager losing his life in a mental health group this week. And she told me, and the same story, blending it with my childhood of being abused. See, I see the whole of Trinidad and Tobago posting this post about being kind. It's the same post most people are just sharing are wrong. See, and I happen to see some of my cousins post it. To know that within their own family members abused me and bullied me in their own way. And nobody does anything about it. I'm 47. I'm still here. I wouldn't have been jumping on a billboard if, according to what Dr. Cecilia Hawkins just said, the burdens that the bullying and the insults and these abuse puts you into, some people just can't take it. So they do one thing, they end their own life. Or they decide that is the end of their road. See, this is why I say be kind. It's free. Share love. Share compassion. Be nice. You don't take $1 out of your pocket or one of your pennies to do any one of those things. You see, empathy, most of you don't even understand. You throw the word wrong, but you don't understand. The way you want people to treat you, the way you want people to feel for you, you do that towards others. Put yourself in someone else's shoe. See, I never compare people's problems with mine. And when actual people, say things like, wow, Ra, you're a big shot. I want to be like you. You know what I always do for you? And this is the truth. I always say, God, go easy on them because I know what I go through. So think about, you just ask for my problems. Yes. Can you handle someone else's story? Ask yourself that question. All right. So Brittany, you chime in, have a little talk about it, and then I'll put in one of my stories. And we
Okay.
go from there. And then we add some more of the clips because we have some of these amazing people. We have Nami, New York City, is going to say something tonight. So Brittany, the stage is yours.
Yeah, I wanted to share about Lavari, and a lot of you may or may not know that he got featured, but not in the what most people would consider in the best of ways. And Lavari is a total sweetheart. Like, he is probably one of the most kindest, loving, sweet human beings. And to see suddenly footage pop up online for an event that had, a lot of issues that, obviously weren't his fault at all, but um, exponential bullying online and bullying from people who think that or believe that they're on the better side of things. But it's that double standard. It's that lack of empathy of people becoming the monster that they're trying to put down. And there's something on that has been just coming up for me today. And it's a Bible verse. It's basically I forget if it was the Pharisees or the Sadducees were accusing Jesus of casting out demons with demons. And he says, and I'm paraphrasing this all, so don't take it literally, but it's the general gist of the story. And Jesus goes, well, evil cannot cast out evil. And that has just been popping up in its more visceral form. Whereas if we're in a position where we're putting something down or we're demeaning something or we're saying something is bad or terrible, but we're doing the same thing in just a different way, that's not solving the problem. That's perpetuating the issue. And hearkening back to Lavari, he just didn't perpetuate the problem. He perpetuated his betterment. He perpetuated or put forth, yes, and now you all saw me on Jimmy Kimmel. And so he's using the opportunities that have presented themselves because that is what a healed individual that is not bent on perpetuating more harm does. And that was just such an impressive feat to just see him still being that 100% authentic, vibrant, loving human being and not taking bait on behavior that doesn't serve or support anybody.
Yep. And let me tell you, I always say, and I told you all this, any press is good press. Don't matter if they're negative towards you or they love you. Because at the end of the day, when one person share it, you become more popular. So it's fine. They wanted to attack him in those type of ways. He turned it around into a nice thing. You know how many things people do to me over the years, lying especially, bullying in different ways. Just recently, I'm on the thing of bullying. Many times during the pandemic, I did a song, a mantra, and this has all part of my spiritual journey, my new book coming out. And I spoke about it. I was standing, whoever believes or not, I was standing in my doorway and I heard this voice giving me this entire song, which I actually wrote, and then we put it out there for Shivratri. But within the mantra of the song that I created for Lord Shiva, because I'm Hindu and spiritual in that way, and the mantra, the Mahamrityunjaya mantra that we played one day when we started the show, I actually took that and actually did 108 times jap, because I believe it can save your life, because I actually saved people with that in the past. And so I put it out for during the pandemic to save lives, that people can join in, pray with me, and use this mantra to save lives. It had so much hate, and the people who were hating, they were so religious when you click on their profile, that they bullied me in the worst of ways, said the worst of things. And that was one of my first ever videos to meet 1 million views because of bullying. But guess what? They reported my video that was just about positivity, love, and prayer and healing towards the world. And Facebook, who do not investigate the truth, took it down and gave me a violation for something positive. So bullying goes deep within, especially in the social media world, because as I say week after week, they love to sit behind their little screens, iPad, laptop, phone, and they have all the power the world leaders of the world has in their hands, and they have nothing better to do than to be the boss of their own power of words. They love to comment negatively. They love to spread stuff. And those are people you cannot change. But you can change yourself and the way you think and how you think about others by thinking at that moment you're about to do something or say something. Is that the right thing to do? Or how would that person feel? See, I say this all the time. A shot arrow cannot be recalled. So can your words. People say words are wind, let it blow away. But it's the things they say, what they will say, how it will hurt you, how it will affect you. See, I believe my voice was horrible throughout my life because people tell me that. And I believed it. See, if I didn't start loving myself in 2018 when I started your life experiences with Ra, I might have still been in that same mindset. I had to change my mindset and change my own self and believe. Today I have a podcast. Today I have people who actually say, Ra, we would love to speak like you. And here I was, a person in the past thinks when I open my mouth, it's squeaky, because that's what I heard. When you shouldn't talk because you sound like a girl. Why do you answer the phone and sound like that? I thought it was a woman. Oh my God, man up, speak up. Those are the things I went through. And it went on. And here I am today, a motivational speaker. Wait, let's correct that for those who like to listen and, go back and gossip and stuff. I am actually not a motivational speaker. I am an international motivational speaker that speaks and advocates for mental health. The mental health that some of you actually drives people into dark places, adding stress and unnecessary trauma into someone's life. Please stop. And when something happens within your family, you cry. But still you don't realize maybe it's karma or God speaking to you to change, and you do not change. See, those are a little few things I'll say. So let's break a little bit, right, Brett? And let's bring on another one of the... Let's do... you know what? Paul Vega. He had an amazing thing to say, right? But before that, let's hear what Milena had to say.
Today's program was really informative and very personal. There was a lot of amazing stories being told and shared, and I think there's a lot of people that would be helped in this situation. And Ra's fabulous because I don't know how he keeps up with all this, but he definitely puts on a show. Ra, I just want to say thank you for all of your hard work. You have done such an amazing job and brought these amazing people out here to New York City to share their stories and to change people's lives and to make them not feel like they are the only ones suffering from any kind of problem or frustration. And I am grateful to be part of it. Thank you.
Hey Ra, thank you so much for the opportunity to have me on your show. I'm so grateful to have you in my life, and I really hope that my talk actually helped at least one person today.
Hello, my name is Nyepu Kemu Ho. I should say Dr. Nyepu Kemu Ho. I'm a registered nurse and nurse practitioner, and having had my own trauma experiences growing up and even of recent years, this opportunity is very much essential for me, and not only for my own growth and well-being, it's for also nurses around the world that I represent. I'm the founder of Nurses in Charge, and coming out here making awareness about mental health and making awareness mainly about burnout prevention and management and the existence of burnout in nurses has given more opportunity for nurses to be aware, to truly come out and not be shy and not be afraid. This is the era that we step out and heal and support each other. So I want to say thank you, Ra. Thank you, Brittany Purr, for this opportunity. Thank you to the entire team. And thank you to my husband who came along as well. So it's been great. It's been awesome meeting other individuals who have their trauma stories and learning from them. What an opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love them and I miss everyone. And I'm cool, right? So if you hear me speak like this, it's like, so I have to leave the window open for Ozzy. So so it's cool for me. So I'm a little bit chilly. It happens during that little break from summer to winter. So it will be dead winter and I wouldn't have this coolness. But like between, I'm chilly. I'm cool. So I just miss everyone because their energy came together in a very beautiful way. And, I said, I tried my best throughout the past couple of months that I cannot make any one of you amazing ladies unhappy. And let me tell you all something. Those of you who believe or don't believe, again, everything about my background, even my spirituality goes deeper than Hinduism. But the conference was on Navratri, the very first day of Navratri. This is what you call belief. This is what you call when you believe in God. When God cannot come, God sends. I wanted more speakers. There was men in the mix of the speakers. But I ended up with 9 amazing ladies that give some amazing stories. And Navratri is 9 nights of devotion where the Devi, if you go into depth of it, had 9 different little missions as she took the form of different teachers, I would use it as, on each different day. And every single person, and it included Dr. Cecilia Hawkins' story that made it at 9. But all the ladies come together, and each lady, each person, each woman had an individual different trauma story that they all went through differently. But they had a different lesson, just as what Navratri is supposed to be about. Navratri is not supposed to be there for you to go and ask for your daughter-in-law to have a baby. It's not that. It's not for you to light a deer to go and tell the goddess of wealth that I need money. It is not that for you to remind God of every single thing every single day. That's not praying. You want to pray, you connect with God. Become one with your God, because you say you love God. You will do all these things, put all these preparation for God. And over, Sri Krishna would have said to you as well, I would accept a leaf from you because it comes with love. As long as it comes with love, I will accept anything. Nothing I can accept. I don't need anything but your love. And if you all take that same love and you spread it, you all will see how far it would go. Not one, this child's life that was lost this week in Trinidad and Tobago, he's not the first and he's not going to be the last. And that is what is sad. Because right here in the United States of America, adding bullying, especially witnesses of bullying, is like over 49% of people. And sometimes a sad part of it, you have 49% of the population being bullied or somehow being part of a bullying, and 98% does nothing. They don't even speak up about it. I remember going to school one day and the teacher asked me to help her write some stuff on the board, and I'm writing the things on the board. Then she has to step out for emergency, runs to do her emergency, just said, can you look at everyone, just don't let anybody leave. Look back at one of the students. He's moving about, shriveling around, doing whatever he's doing. Just say, can you just sit and write this down? She'll be back soon. Comes up to me, have no idea what he does. Takes a whole set of powder in his hands and blow it straight to my face, all in my eye, nose, everywhere, and then takes the dust and slaps it to my face. The eraser for the board. While the rest of the class stands there, sits back and look at you and laugh at you. Now, I'm already in an abusive home with a stepfather who is always trying to teach you how to fight back. Otherwise, I'm a faggot. Who do you talk to? Who do you tell? Most of these kids, most people being bullied, most of the time they hold it within. And this is why it hurts and it aches so much, because every time I hear a child or someone takes their life because of bullying, you know what I say? That could have been me. Because if I just somehow wasn't strong enough, it would have been me. And at one point it was. Thank God, God knew I had a purpose to come out here to do this week after week with you all. So God actually has me here. And I believe that. Because I have so much purposes and so much more to bring for your trauma talks, your life experiences with Ra, and what we're about to do. As Dr. Cecilia Hawkins is saying in the comments, Brittany, we will see you in LA, because we want those of you who are motivational speakers or speakers that's listening on and looking on tonight or listening at the podcast. We are going to Los Angeles in the month of mental health awareness, in the month of May. And we would love for speakers to join us to tell their trauma story. You can contact myself or Brittany Purr and Your Trauma Talks at gmail.com. That's it, Your Trauma Talks at gmail.com. YLEWRAH at gmail.com. You can go to Obscorum. Brittany, please put your email address in the comments. Any one of us, you can contact. Any one of the past speakers, you can contact. Why we're showing back the reels and the clips? Because we want you all to know what took place and what happened and what the speakers had to say. Think about, they were excited. They won a billboard in Times Square. Brittany Prayer, what did I not do that I promised I was going to do?
Everything came through, as far as I know. I don't think you missed anything, really. We had the theater right on Broadway. We had all of our talks. We had just the right amount of time. We had the after party, which was absolutely amazing, at a beautiful rooftop venue. That was a lot of fun. And even after our private room closed for the after party, there was still dancing and a lot of fun to be had within the space. The billboard in Times Square, like, I don't think there was anything that you missed, to be honest, that I could be aware of. And I can't wait to see the rest of the recordings as well. So
Well,
that's it. Just the rest of the recordings.
so well, we have a couple more to show, and then we are planning, everyone who looks at Trauma Talk Thursdays, we want to do a rerun for those of you who missed your Trauma Talks on Broadway on October 23rd. From, I know it's going to sound long, but you could just listen to us while you drive, while you do anything. But we are going to replay on October 23rd from 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. The only reason we're saying till 9 p.m. because it's going to be less than 5 hours. All the talks come together, but we have all little entertainments. Plus, I want to put all these little clips and reels back so everyone can hear everyone interviews and stuff like that, because I didn't add everyone tonight because I know I needed to interact with all the speakers to make sure it was okay to put their interview up. So now we're going to hear from Lavari. Lavari, we're going to hear from you. And then afterwards, we're going to hear from Lavari's friend that we met. He's an actor, and he shared part of his story that you all will hear on October 23rd as well. You will hear his story. And I mean, mind-blowing how people are living with a smile. And he's an actor. He's a model. He's out there every single day taking part in different events because he appreciates life. And when you appreciate life, you want to give back as much as you can. People ask me week after week, don't you got this to do? Don't you have that to do? You can have a million things to do. Don't Brittany has? Brittany travels for a very long time to pick her child up from school and to get back home. But on a Thursday, she make it her duty to come out here to help you all, to understand you are not alone. And these stories that we tell, and our guests come out here every week telling their stories, is for you to understand that you're not alone and we're here for you. So let's take, this will be, so we're about to see Lavari is about a minute, and then we have Paul Varga for 1 minute as well, a minute and a half or something like that. So let's add Lavari to the stage and hear what he had to say. Also, I saw Sherry David said she missed 1 week or something. We missed 1 week. We had Trauma Talks last week. We were live from Broadway at Times Square, everyone. All the speakers were together. So what I'll do is cut that up, or you can look back at it on thing. We have Nadira here. She's on. Thank you so much, Nadira, for joining us. Rosa is online. My mom is online. My aunt is online. My aunt, they lost their puppy this week, buddy. It's really, really hit hard on home because we had Ace. We lose Ace last year, and now we lose Buddy. And it's your child. At the end of the day, this is how we think about our fur babies. This our baby. I don't care what people think. I bring Ace and Ozzy up from babies like this big. I see this giant guy on my sofa right now, and that's my baby. And the same with Ace. Ace helped a lot of people. Actually, I call Ace a celestial being because Ace healed people. Ace helped people. I had a cut when I got Ace as a puppy. I had a cut on my foot. We had a barbecue, and I borrowed a table from my job. And when I opened the back of my SUV, the table slid out and ran straight down my shin, causing I have a big long scar. And that thing would not heal. I put a medication on it, all different things. I do not have diabetes, by the grace of God, thank you. But it would not heal. This is 2012. I had just gotten Ace, a 6 weeks old puppy. Within 2 weeks, that thing was not healing. And one day I sat on the sofa watching television, and he came and he started licking it. And I told him no. And I pulled away. This is going to sound crazy, but within a couple of minutes, the whole thing started closing. By the next day, that was it. It's gone. Ace healed me. Ace healed others. Ace seen evil in my house. Ace Ace has done so much in my family. And not for me, many people. I always make a joke and say if Ace goes on down on the boardwalk in Coney Island, there's hundreds and thousands of people, and him and Tom Cruise is there. Tom Cruise is going to have some competition. So, you know, may God bless our fur babies and may they rest in peace, Buddy and Ace. They were like two different little pups, and they're like so different, but they were friends, and they're both gone now. Another thing is, one of my amazing friends, I would not be Your Life Experiences with Ra without having her tell her first story. My friend Cindy, her sister passed away this week. Her sister as well was one of my Rastas on, you know, Sandy. And I'm so sorry for your loss, Cindy, and I love you. And everyone at Your Trauma Talk sends their condolences and their warm respects. May your sister sleep in peace with her maker. We love you, Cindy. So this is just a little shout outs before we start playing these videos. It's already 9:48 and the time runs when, you know, you're talking and saying positive stuff. Thank you so much, Dr. Cecilia Hawkins, for joining tonight. We have Geneva Ra. Where is your jovial, happy person? Is that jovial, happy person? Here we have, sorry, Brittany, I did get to post the number of your book. Oh, she didn't get to post your book yet. Sweetie Nuri saying, sorry, I couldn't be there. I saw and heard you all. I'm thinking about last week, the conference. So we will run the conference back again, every single one of you. Oh, we met this amazing guy out in Manhattan. What men don't say. That's such an amazing thing. We did answer some questions for him. So, man, good job that you're doing all there. And I know you could connect with bullying. We have Nancy. Nancy's in the house. Night to all. It was a long, exhilarating, as well as physically and mentally long week. Take care and God bless. Nancy, we love you. We have great to see you, Nancy. Brittany is calling out everyone. All right. So let's have Lavari and Brittany and I for the next two little interviews. We'll jump back and then come back up front. All right.
Hello, everybody. I am Lavari, and I'm honored to once again be hosting the Mental Health Conference presented by Ra, Your Life Experiences with Ra, Your Trauma Talks with Ra. We are here for the first time with this conference in Times Square, New York City. As always, as with the last conference and this present one, I have been so inspired listening to each of these speakers' stories and experiences, and I have identified with every single one with one facet or another of their story. So here I am hosting, performing, whatever, but at the same time inspired and listening, and things have been awakened in me that I forgot about, both negative and positive. That helps me to work on, but also helps me to affirm things about myself. So I am so honored to be here and to host again. And Ra, for everything that you did, for putting all of this together again, we thank you.
Hello, everyone. God bless. My name is Paul Vega. I'm located from the Bronx, New York. I'm a model / actor, and I'm here to support, mental health awareness.
Thank you, Paul. So I have two questions for you. My first question is, what were you most excited today to share about your story? What was one thing you're like, oh, I can't wait to let people know about this?
Honestly, just to show everybody that it doesn't matter what you're going through, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritually, nothing can stop you. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything that you truly want in life.
Thank you. And my second question is, we had so many amazing speakers today, including yourself. Was there a particular quote or takeaway or something that you were like, wow, that really spoke to me?
Yes, it was a young lady with the Mickey Mouse ponytails. She was amazing. I related so much to her story. Being diagnosed with a laundry list of health issues, and hearing her story was so inspirational that there are other people like me that go through these issues and don't get help, but then realize that, you can find the help from within. And it starts from believing in yourself and just taking the time out to, put that effort in, and to make sure that you do what you have to do first for you before you can help anyone else.
Paul, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Frances Green. I work with the NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness of New York City. And I just want to say, Rod, thank you so much for having our organization represent those that are living with the mental health condition, as well as the loved one who is supporting them. This is an awesome thing that you're doing, bringing awareness, minimizing the stigma on mental illness, and you being an advocate. It really shows your love, it's heartfelt, and I want to say thank you so much for what you're doing. And this is just the beginning, Ra. I can see this growing into a greater experience and also reaching many lives to those that are diagnosed as well as the loved ones. So thank you for your support. Thank you for, again, inviting us. And I just want to say thank you, Ra.
I really do appreciate those things, and those things would not have happened if I had taken my bullies seriously. It is hard. It is hard. It is very, very hard, especially when they're family members, especially when your escape is certain people in your life. And when you try to escape to meet those people or talk to them, they are the bullies in your life as well that bring extra stress and extra things that would put you down even more. Britt, I mean, we had some amazing messages tonight, so you chime in and share your stuff. I mean, we did hear in the first episode where you spoke about bullying, where you was bullied. You know, like you had friends in the sitcom Friends. You would have seen Monica transform from the fat girl being young in school and fat, and names they would call her and stuff. And throughout the thing, you know, they talk about different things that happen, and you see that, and you related to. I could tell that you had things to say about being a fat person and being bullied like that. So you add in your part right here.
Yeah. I was bullied at home. I wasn't bullied from other people at school because I wouldn't give them the chance to. Always kind of walked around in public with a chip on my shoulder because I was getting bullied at home. And it's challenging. It's very challenging to not really have that family as a safe space and to be taught at a young age that these things are going to happen. So get ready for it. And, you know, you're kind of on your own in navigating this. But like how I brought up Lavari earlier, like how Ra has spoken earlier, you can transform these things. Just because whoever bullies you doesn't mean that that's true or that that has to stay true. It gives you a little bit, it can give you the strength to see things through when you go through these experiences and you rise. And you let it be known that that is not you, that they are only speaking for themselves, about themselves, and how they view the world. Because it's really, they don't know you. And on my most recent trip to spend time with family, that subject came up where there was a bit of a discussion and my brother was like, what do you do? And, you know, just like it was heated and he wanted me to bring it out immediately. And it's like, I've never been accustomed to speaking about anything about me with my family. I did not have the space to do that. And finally, it got to the point of me attempting to speak where I just went, what do you actually know about me? Silence. And bullying is not about you. It really isn't. Because unfortunately, my family doesn't know anything about me because of that experience. I knew not to trust them. I was trained not to trust them, not to share with them about my life. But the most impactful and interesting thing. And this is why I said that experience on that stage, that vision that Ra brought through, literally, and I could like show this on my phone right now. My mother called right as the event ended and left a message apologizing. Now, I still have to call her back. I'm a complete jerk for not doing that. I totally acknowledge that. And I do need to call her back probably tomorrow because I completely brain farted about it. But that's how powerful it is to open up about these experiences, to really connect with people who care, connect with the support systems that are now being more available. The more that we share about our experiences, the more that we overcome our own trauma to really see through all of that clutter and bring it out into the light, because that's the only way through is through it's sharing these things, it's being transparent, and through that that's how we are able to find our community. Because I was never able to reach out for help. I didn't think support was something for me because the people I was supposed to have for that told me that that wasn't available to me. And it wasn't until I was able to like get through that and to really connect, acknowledge the experience fully, and that is understanding that they're not seeing me. That bullying is not about seeing me. It's not about seeing the person that is being bullied. It's just about what the bully is, what they are experiencing, and their own views on life. So.
And that's like so true in different ways, because some of the things, if I discuss it with the people who bullied me, they would laugh about it. They would think that they was joking. Oh, dude, you're too soft. You're, like when I remember telling one of my friends who wasn't there on that day what happened with the girl slapping me down, and he said to me, "Well, are you you're too much of a pussy to get up and slap her back?" And I was like, are you already in a traumatized state that, all right, you go home, you tell your mom, will be like, what the hell you did? Those are the things you don't want to hear. You don't want to react like that in certain ways. Or you don't want to be the dad that's about to rush down there and want to kill somebody or something like that, even though, certain things might save someone by adult getting involved in certain ways or getting the teachers involved. Well, now it has so many different things. That's why I'm so disappointed. There's so many support that this child could have gotten, or these children or people could get these days, and still they feel as though they are alone because that's the way they are made to feel. See, as you say, and I tell people this all the time, no religion, no teacher at school, no professor, no world leader, no one can teach you when you fall. And when you fall, I mean, go into those dark places. No one can ever tell you and teach you how to get up. No one but you. You have to understand that you have a purpose. You have to believe in yourself. You have to love yourself. See, I talk about Sonia all the time. I see Sonia selling so many amazing things online. One of my number one rasters. Sonia's whole life changed when she started listening to your life experiences with Ra. We heard Anya said, if my story can save one person, it matters. And that's how I started. Now, I know I have helped so many others. Trust me. There was this particular singer that I found out a story about. He looked at me and laughed at me when he heard me singing. But for years, he was out of the singing industry because he was depressed in his own way and whatever. But just to show that he can do it better than me, it helped put him back where he needs to be. Even though he's, in my eyes, he could talk about me, but he's like, bro, you really need to listen to my Shallow. That's how I would see it. compared to them, but I'm not trying to hurt anyone. But at the end of the day, if you can use me in a negative way to fix yourself, go right ahead again. So I want to hear one more before we close up. There's one more person that we did not hear from at the conference. Now, mind you, Lavari interviewed a lot of us. We can't do all of those today, but we will be pulling in some more maybe next week to remind you that we had a conference called Your Trauma Talks, which we are about to have again. It will always be called Your Trauma Talks because it is speaking about trauma talk. So let's hear what this guy have to say.
Wow, what a journey. Today was an amazing event, Your Trauma Talks. The very first Your Trauma Talks, trauma on Broadway, in a theater, in Times Square, in New York City. Yes, where speakers, motivational speakers, came to life to tell their trauma story, their resilience, which is their truth. And they told their story to be able to let you know that you are not alone. So I'm calling all you amazing motivational speakers, or not even a motivational speaker, as long as you have a story of how you have overcome to be the successful person that you are today, you message us your trauma talks, your life experiences with Ra. Email us ylewrah@gmail.com. We are all over. We have a podcast called Your Trauma Talks Thursdays, where every single week we have a guest, no matter if you're a musician or someone just like me and you that has a story that can share, to reach out to let you know that you can keep doing it for you and you're not alone. I'm very happy. This day was an amazing day. I want to thank all my amazing speakers for coming from all the way from Australia, from Canada, Los Angeles, Utah, right here in New York. Don't talk about the amazing support from our camera crew, Gohar, and don't talk about amazing DJ Lucky. Thank you so much for what you do for every single one of us. Lavari, amazing job. As usual, you just, you win over everyone's heart with your charm, my friend. NAMI New York City, Wings of Dorcas, Dr. Cecilia Hawkins, and every one of you, especially the whole entire staff and team from right here at the Theater Center for helping us do this. Now, I want to mention something out of the way. Someone asked me just last night, Ra, did you put together this by yourself? I'm the one that put together this in New York City by myself. But I had a team, my team of Biz 2 Track, and Somayadita Das, Ankita, Ishan, Shravam for updating the website, the Eventbrite, doing all the amazing posters. We love you. They have an amazing coaching program in India called Wonder Coaching. I want you all to follow them, especially all you Indians. If you want to learn to speak and do public speaking in English and be on stage to tell your story, follow Mr. Das, Dr. Das actually, and his whole entire team, Biz 2 Track Digital. Every one of you again, this is Ra. I love you all. Thank you. Remember, what is meant for you shall never pass you by, and what passes you by was never meant for you.
And that is so true. What is meant for you shall never pass you by, and what passes you by was never meant for you. You see, there are many things that we want in life, and you can't have it. Some people go out of their way just to have it, while others, they take their time and wait for their right moment. Because as I say over and over, and you have to let it sink in, many religious leaders, especially some of the, as I'm Hindu, let's put it as some of the pundits preaching now about kindness and all different things. I heard one going off, one popular one the other day about gossiping. He used his own word. But how could you come back now and speak about these things to some of the many that still follows you, that was following you before, that you were part of the problem? But you know, many leaders in these communities that I have seen, that their own members tell them something personally that's happening in their life A husband and wife having a problem, the wife is cheating, and you go and you tell your Hindu priest. But somehow the whole entire church, the whole entire temple, everyone knows what's going on when you spoke this privately with that one person. That's your religious leader. How sad. But now they switch all their tongues, and I love that. Because as I said, I had some crazy ways as well in 2000 and from before 2018. But while I started practicing what I preach, what I talk about on here is what I do. I share love. During 2018 to now, the amount of obstacles that I have seen, the amount of people that came through my lives that actually I had to learn a lesson from, but keep loving and understanding and letting go and moving forward. Just as I know many of you are looking on here tonight has been bullied or abused in some sort of way. You have been through some sort of trauma. And I want you to understand that you're here today. And if you're here today, give yourself a pat on the back. Tell yourself, I love you, from bringing you from through all those traumas, all those abuse, all those bullying to be who you are today and be here today. Even if you are going through it now, make a stand. Understand that, hey, I did it, so I can move forward. And in order to move forward, you have to understand what you have to let go of. And that way, you will understand how to let go of some of the types of bullyings that happen to you in your life. Brittany, you want to chime in?
Yeah, it's there's just I'm kind of brain farting right now. But yeah, I mean, step up, lean in, and through that, through the acknowledgement, through the sharing, and through hearing each other's stories of how we overcome the things that we constantly experience in our lives. That's how we get through it. That's how we create community. That's how we do this journey called life together. And that's all I have to say right now. I'm not sure what else to say.
I know. Bullying is a deep conversation, and behind the psychology of it, it's so in depth because most of the time, 90% of the time, people abuse others because of how they're being abused, and you see it happening. But what's sad is when you can't man up to your own actions and you continue the bullying down the line. Take responsibility if your child causes harm on someone else's child by bullying them. Take responsibility for what you did and correct it. Have some empathy rather than being a bully on top of another bully. Because that's where the sadness happened. That's where you will never learn. But sadly, you will learn. And this is my message to all of you. You will always learn. Just like I tell people in your life, when you hurt someone, innocent, someone that loves you, always remember you have a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, someone that is close to you. That the same way you make someone loved one cry, or you make someone else cry or hurt to a place where it sends them in a dark place, your turn will come. And when it does, what that person endure, trust me, yours will come 10 times worse. Ask yourself, before you end up putting yourself in someone else's shoes, can you handle that? Because some of the things I went through, I know there are people out there, they definitely cannot, and they would not be standing, because I have seen people I look up to. There's a story in my book, Believe, with someone who commits suicide. Actually, there are 2 suicide stories connecting one on one. A love story And another one where someone I looked up to, and that person committed suicide. And I would never think that that person who was so happy will kill themselves or take their own life. Now, this is not meant for someone to go out there and hurt yourself. These things are all meant to just help to understand there's lots of help out there. There are different hotlines. There's someone out there just willing to listen to you and somehow point you into the right directions. I love you all. This is Ra. It has been an amazing journey from the past few months. I will say actually the past 10 months. We planned Your Trauma Talks on Broadway in December of 2023. For it to actually happen in June of 2024. It did not happen until it's the right moment. As I went to say earlier on, time keeps ticking. And people love to tell you, don't worry, man, it's going to happen in the right time. Never it's going to happen in the right time. Because time keeps ticking. It waits on no one. But your moment will come. And that is what happened. Our right moment was October 3rd, which I didn't even know that it would have been Navratri, the beginning, the first day of it. So God has all these plans for you. So you have to stick it through. You have to pull through. You have to pull that mud out of you. And it will happen for all of you. And I believe that. So this journey for the past 10 months, I have been bullied through all the 10 months. Would you believe people that are very big motivational speakers out there insulted me throughout this little journey? But at the end of the day, as I told the rest of amazing speakers that we had, Brittany and the rest of us, as we have a group chat, and I said to them, if I had given up in the beginning, I wouldn't have met all of them. So at the end of the day, it works out perfectly fine. So everything happens in the right moment. As I tell you all, I love you all. Share this. Listen to the podcast. Listen to our past episodes if you have just joined us. Think about Brittany's story. Listen to her talks. Listen to what she brings, the positivity. For you, such amazing women that follow us, our rosters on Obscurum nights every single week. Take something from our talks. Add it to your life in a positive way. Believe. Brittany Purr told you all we had an amazing VIP event. And this is to finish right here. When I look within my budget, and this is the truth, so I don't hide anything. When I look within my budget, the place I had to go to actually put the VIP event, I was very unhappy. But during that time, I saw another event, a place, an event space with a view of New York City. And I was like, wow, the price was like at least 5 times the price of the place that I had in mind, that I had to use, that I didn't like. But I looked up and I said, I wish this is where we can have this VIP event or somewhere similar, that when these amazing speakers travel from Los Angeles, like Brittany, my city, my home, I want them to enjoy because I love being on top. And guess what? Last minute changes happen. And our VIP event happened similar to what I saw in my vision or what I wanted. So if you speak it out there, you believe enough in what you want and what you want happen in your life, it will happen. But you also have to take the steps towards it. And that's all I have to say for tonight. Love each other. Spread love, not hate. Because at the end of the day, hate is a heavy thing that carries a lot of different types of burdens. I love you all. I'll leave Brittany Purr to close.
Thank you. So a few things. I finally remembered what I was going to say, and it's holding each other accountable and speaking up when you see things that are not okay and are not right. And I did this recently in a Facebook group where people were behaving in the way that was not acceptable, behaving in the way of the people that they were trying to warn others of, which is the purpose of that group. And so, yeah, I brought it up, and the people didn't learn, didn't receive the message, but I still took a stand. And then went the next level of, contacting the admins on the behavior and making it very clear that that space was not a safe space for those who have endured treatment like that before. And, that was a space for people to be safe, to speak their piece and help others to be safe. And, you can do your best, but it just takes one person to speak up. And I was the only one to do that. As Ross said, there is such a small percentage of people that are willing to speak up and try, or at least work to hold people accountable for their statements and their behaviors. Also with that, Ra mentioned that there are spaces for support. And there is one. Thank you, James from telehealthtoday.net, for actually helping me to get out there along with Ra to New York. So you can access that and a gift from telehealthtoday.net in the link that I've provided in the chat, or you can go to obscurum.com/Rastas, and that is obscurum.com/RAHSTAZ. And you can get a free copy of my book and some other goodies there as well. Overall, thank you, everyone, for joining us on this journey and for celebrating this huge, momentous occasion with us. Everyone give Ra lots of love in the chat, because he is the visionary that is single-handedly, like a ninja, swatting all the naysayers and all of the BS aside to make his vision happen. When he says it's tough, he's wiping so much under the rug of the blood, sweat, and tears that go into creating this. So thank you, Ra. Thank you, everyone who has been a part of this. And thank you, our community, for joining us on this journey. Go and do amazing things in the world, and no longer stay silent. Support is here for you. Thank you.